Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, welcome. We're headed to the Commonwealth cabin. Today's going to be a doozy. Should be a fun video. We're going to be all over the place talking about all kinds of different topics, but one in particular at some point during this video. Matter of fact, we might just spread it out through the whole video and then a pseudo announcement at the end. This is going to be a good one. I'm excited about it. We've got some good sales, and it's going to include a reaction to two videos where I lost a ton of subs, and I want to get into that a little bit. But not just get into it, but really get into it, discuss a little bit. I was taken off guard, to say the least. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing subs. I tried to figure out what it was, and looking in the comments, I'm like, really? This is something that just fascinates me today when we're going to talk about reselling, how this relates to reselling and life in general. It's going to be a good one. Well, a ton of subs might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but to me, it was a ton of subs. We'll talk about that. I'm not used to losing subs over issues. You guys have always been incredibly gracious to me, even when you don't agree. But boy, there are some things that people just will not be agreeable about. This is taking me forever to get this out. HeroQuest, this is funny because I just got done working with some HeroQuest in the other shed, bought some. And I love selling it. It doesn't go for near the money that it used to go for. Man, I got to rearrange that. There's a little expansion pack. I've got 5 or 6 different things in that shed right now, and I just bought HeroQuest game system. This one's been around a long time. I can't even remember if it was complete or not. I think it was, but it was split. I don't think this is the one that we bought from Honest Tim, because we parted that one out, but this one we didn't. $100 plus shipping. And it was a while back, so I've been thinking about this for a while, but it was the July 3rd Commonwealth Picker video and the July 4th, which is not a coincidence, Commonwealth Flipper video. And it got me thinking of all the reasons I've had people tell me why they're unsubscribing to my channel. And anyway, this I thought was a coin bank. Looks like a coin bank. I still think it's a coin bank, but I don't know how you get the dang coins out unless you literally took it apart. I mean, you can hear a coin in there, but I saw it in a little cast. I thought of Tim over the years. You know, he didn't believe in dinosaurs. I don't know, Tim, maybe you should unsub, because I do believe in dinosaurs. Here we go. This one sold. I picked it up for a couple. I don't know what I bought it for. I can't even remember. I don't even know why I bought it, other than I thought it was cool and I think somebody would like it. So we did, like, I think I put coin bank and then explained that I don't know how you get the coins out, or like a door stop, because it's super heavy. $22 plus shipping. I'm going to get to those two reasons in a minute why those people did that, but it just made me think about all the reasons in the past I've had people unsub, and it could be something as simple as you say you do free shipping, which I do on some items, rarely, but I do, and they're like, that's just dumb and it's terrible for resellers, and you know, it doesn't matter that only like 5% of my items are free shipping, but bad advice, and you know, you can't be on YouTube spreading bad advice, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's, you know, you're always whining about eBay. Sometimes it's the opposite. You always talk nicely about eBay and you're a sellout. And so, you know, you can't make everybody happy. And I've learned that over the years, especially in the reselling business. Like this, somebody's going to be really, really mad that I'm telling people that Thai Beanie Babies, McDonald's Thai Beanie Babies can sell. Even though most of them don't. But these two right here together sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Ronald McDonald the Bear. And what is that? Hamburglar of some sort? I don't know what the heck that is. Yeah, Hamburglar the Bear. And that's $14.95 plus shipping, so I'll take that little sale. And of course, the one that I've done many, many times, the video about Bibles, you know, whether it's on the Picker channel and somebody's like, oh, the Bibles are free, and then I sold comp and they're just tearing me apart and unsubbing. Or on this channel, you're selling Bibles, and so folks unsubscribe for stuff like that. This is an awesome sale right here. This is a Commonwealth Grandpa pickup, totally by accident. He knows I love bookends. Just personally, I love bookends. And these two right here, he brought them home, and I'm like, holy moly, Blanco. I didn't even recognize him at the beginning. Blanco, for me, isn't easy to pick up. But I learned Blanco from a guy. Oh, this brings up another point somebody was upset about and unsubbing for. This is a while back, though. These bookends right here sold fairly quickly. Sold for like $85, maybe just a tick under. Over $85.45 plus shipping. You know, I've never been much of a glass seller because I don't know much about it. But the very first time I was out picking with I guess you'd call him a friend, an acquaintance. I was up in Minnesota for an event for something totally different, not reselling related at all. And I put out a little message and I said, hey, is anybody up here watch my channel, you know, that wants to take me out because I didn't have a car? And he's like, yeah, can't even remember your name. Now I feel bad. You got a walking around channel. Any rate, we went out and he picked these items up and he's like, I don't think I want these. I think they're Blanco though. And I'm like, Blanco? I've heard Blanco. And I picked them up and they were paperweights. Frog, turtle, I can't remember what they were. I'm like, sweet. I'm like, you don't want to buy them? And so then I got it in my head. I would have never learned that without picking with somebody else who knew it. And at this point, I'm like, man, how much of this stuff have I passed up over the years? Speaking of over the years, you know, he's taught me a lot when I go out picking with him. And when I go out picking with all these folks, a lot of times people don't like it on the Commonwealth Picker channel. And a lot of people hate it, not just for viewing purposes, but they're like, anybody's so stupid to go out picking with the competition. It's a great topic, you know, and they just don't like it. And you see negatives and the video doesn't get as many views and all that kind of stuff. But I truly am a firm believer in, not all the time, but going out and picking with people makes you a far better picker. There are so many more items that I pick up now. Maybe not at that time. They might win something, you know, they might get to it before you that day. But I found that oftentimes we could all pick the same place and come out with a bunch of stuff that none of the other folks even found. So I personally, and you may disagree, I think it's a good strategy to go picking with somebody else. Occasionally, for sure. Makes you a better picker, and even a better picker in the moment, I think. And those bookends went to a viewer. They had a ton of people watching it. And I was just like, this is going to sell quick, I can tell. And at any rate, here it is. Hey, Kevin, I had my eye on buying a set of these for a while now, and when I saw you listed these, I knew I'd most likely purchase them. My second purchase from you, as I previously bought the Dig Dug Funko Pop. I remember that. That's been a while. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. I have a question for you and Dave and Carrie that I don't believe that I've heard you discuss on the Trash to Cash podcast. Has there been an item that was left in your death pile, and by the time you did list it, it had lost a ton of value? That's a good question. Thanks for continuing to teach. God bless Paul Myers. So, Paul, thank you very much. By the way, I'll just say this. That's the kind I have. What do I have? I don't know. It looks like maybe 3 viewer sales today, and I do have tons of complaints. You know, and not most of you. Thank you, by the way. Just like, you know, this isn't real reselling. You're getting viewer sales and whatever. So that's why I always say this is a viewer sale. And oh, you asked a question. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but let me know out there in the comments. Help Paul out down below and tell him if there's ever one like that for you. The one that I can kind of think of is I found a Wii Sports game that had literally been in my death pile since probably before the pandemic, and I found it after the pandemic, and prices had gone down a little bit. That's one. Actually, it wasn't in a case. It was in an actual Wii console when I popped it out. So there's one. Here would have been an example right here. Hero Quest. Those used to go for far more until they started doing the repops out there. I'm wondering if this is back here, if it's going to be in my drawer. I think it's going to be here. I'm going to find the lot. Is it this one or this one? I'll go look. But sold some memory cards, and I underpriced it just a shade because I had an old set, one of these two, that hadn't sold. I'm like, I'm going to underprice it, see if I can get it sold, and then I might do the same with the other one. $16 plus shipping. And of course, it was neither of these. It was that one. Speaking of Dave and Carrie, I've had folks unsub for me saying, oh, you went out on a yard sale with Dave. I don't like Dave. I'm unsubscribing. So I'm like, well, I'm sorry you don't like Dave. I love Dave. Dave is a nice human being. It might not seem like it if you watch the podcast, but it's the truth. So, you know, people don't have to like everybody. They don't have to have the same friends. They don't have to ship the same way. They don't have to use the same Rolo printer, for goodness sake. None of that stuff really matters. And I'm going to get to a point a little bit later and tie all this stuff together. Turner's going to be happy we sold this one right here. It's an Oculus Quest. I don't know what number it is. Bought this one almost a year ago, and Turner was with me. Matter of fact, Turner pointed it out, talking about going picking with other people. Turner, of all people, has pointed out things to me that he knows are valuable because they're the things that he wants, and he's helped me pick. So, you know, of course, he's not my competition out there, but this one right here, he wanted it after we got home, and I'm like, hey, I just spent $100 on this thing or whatever I spent on it. And I was like, you pay me for it. You can use it as long as you want. When you're ready to get rid of it, if it's still working, I'll give you the money back for it, and then I'll sell it, which is what we did. Well, I haven't given her the money yet because I just sold it, but $169.95 plus shipping. Had to turn the AC off. Speaking of Turner, I've had folks unsubscribe from my channels because I put my kids on the channel. They're like, that's terrible, irresponsible, whatever. I've had people unsubscribe because of something Reagan was wearing one time. When I started to sell from time to time on Whatnot, people started unsubscribing. You know, you're betraying eBay and all us eBay resellers. And then, of course, you get the folks that are, you know, you're a sellout to whatever, which... Well, you know what? That's a point I want to bring up really quick. I mentioned this in a previous video, and I didn't look at that one to see about people what they were commenting back. But I said before, I'm like, listen, I can at least promise you this: I'm going to give you my honest opinion all the time, and if I'm ever paid to do something, I'm going to tell you. And some guy just the other day just totally spammed this thing, and he's like, you know, you're getting paid X amount by eBay every month and whatever, and they're promoting your store so that people believe you can really sell stuff on eBay, and all you do is brag about your sales and whatever. First of all, I'm sorry if I seem like I'm bragging about my sales. Just a few videos back, you'll see just a complete drop off. We had a day with no sales when the store was on vacation. And I had a day after I was back from vacation where I had 2 sales. Just an absolutely dismal day. And I've had a few with 4 or 5. And, you know, that's the time where you got to really hunker down and not get totally... I don't know if people use the term burnout all the time or depression or whatever. But as far as reselling goes, that's the time when you got to put in the work and change some things that you're doing, maybe. Or if you know it's the right course, you just keep going forward. My grandma used to say, you'll get happy in the same britches. Speaking of my grandmother, who has since passed, but we had her here a year and a half ago, and she watched the channel, and she was in this chair. Some of you may remember this video, and she took the opportunity to slam Harry Tornado because he was copying her grandkid, and I tried to set her straight. I was like, nah, he wasn't copying me, I promise. And of course, that was all a joke, and people were like, why do you hate Cherry Tornado? And I'm not watching your channel. And then I've had the other side of the equation. I remember going to FlipCon and, you know, how could you do that? And who, you know, Harry Tornado, this and that, and whatever. I'm unsubbing. I'm like, man, people are serious about this stuff, which is good. We should all be serious about reselling. But man, some of the silly stuff that people are so dogmatic about, they put themselves in a box and can never grow out of it and improve their reselling. Super Mario Land Game Boy game. And now it's sold for $14.95 plus shipping. And you know, there are some more serious people out there that will, you know, okay, I'm getting a little tired of this kind of thing, and they'll chime in and whatever. That's fine, I guess. I used to get it all the time, and now I'm very conscious about it. They're like, you know, you put people's stuff down. Like if it's a plush, I'd do that at a yard sale. And boy, people didn't like it. I'm like, man, maybe I should watch it. And so now I try. Although sometimes if it's, I mean, it's plush, y'all, or a t-shirt or something. You know, I remember doing videos. I just pulled this out for Dibdit Deal of the Day, actually. And I remember I did videos about folks that were like, hey, you really shouldn't sell that. Or eBay took something down, and I was like, really? You're taking this down because of whatever, culturally I don't know what it is. But it was, of course, I sold some, what were they? They were in the package, die-cast Dukes of Hazzard with the Rebel flag on it and all that. And boy... and I can get it, right? That's a personal. You don't want to sell that? Fine. I'm not going to criticize you for it, but good grief. I don't understand some like the Redskin stuff, right? I remember doing a video. I had a Redskins seat cushion, and man, I got some serious hate over that too. So there's it didn't matter. Left, right, center, religion, whatever it was, and that was part of this I shouldn't say mass unsubscribing, but there was way more. Normally you'll see a couple unsubs and then it goes up. Most of my videos gain tons of subs. Thank y'all, by the way. But this one was not the case. I'll get to it in just a second. I guess I didn't tell you about the deal of the day. So I'll look through those, see what the comps are. I'll put it in a nice little lot, figure out what the value is, separate them or something, and put them over there well under the market value. Not, 25% under the market value or something. I sold a Magic 8 Ball, and somebody was ticked off and said they're never watching again. Dungeons and Dragons. I sold... What'd I sell? Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers VHS, boy. There's a lot of people ticked off at that one, for sure. And that's not, well, whatever. I don't typically sell some things, and that's my point. It's like a personal choice here. Snap-on, battery. This is a good one, y'all. This sold for $120. I remember, I think it has the battery brand new with the, I don't know what it is, but 120 bucks for that thing, plus shipping. And Joel, what's his name? Joe Chandler Harris, the one who did the Uncle Remus Song of the South stuff, is like a really early copy, not first edition, but really early copy. I'm like, you know, this stuff, to me, historical stuff should be, you know, preserved. You don't have to agree with everything, but good night almighty. Some of it just blows my mind. So there are, in my opinion, some ridiculous reasons why you may enjoy watching somebody's content or learning from somebody or not learning from somebody. You know, there's all kinds of different people. I surround myself with people that have totally different opinions, not just about reselling, but about life. And I find a way to really enjoy their friendship and learn from them as well. And reselling is the same way, y'all. And I feel like so many people get stuck in this box that there's just one way to do it, and there's just so much disagreement over silly little things. You can maneuver all kinds of different ways. The promoted listing thing, I got so much feedback, negative feedback from that promoted listing video I did, and all I said in the video was, hey, I don't like it when some people out there say that you must do promoted listings or you cannot succeed. I didn't even say promoted listings are bad. I think promoted listing, guess what? You promote your listings, 5%, 6%, 2.1%, you know, standard, you're going to get more sales. All I said was just allow for people to make that own decision based on their own situation. And I couldn't believe some of the feedback that came in. I'm like, wow, people are really dogmatic about this kind of stuff. And that's fine. Perfectly fine. But I don't want it to influence people out there who are just starting, trying to find the path that works best for them. I highly encourage you to watch many people if you're a YouTube watcher. Find actual resellers that aren't on social media whatsoever around you. Surround yourself with a group of people. Follow Facebook groups. I tell you what, if I was a new reseller, I'd find the best reseller around where I lived that was kind enough to teach me a little bit, to go out reselling with them or picking with them or figure out their sources. If they would allow that to occur, that's how I would do it. I went inside to try and find something. Looks like a storm is brewing out there. It's Hurricane Heather. Okay, hear my wife coming down here. All right, y'all. Speaking of reasons to unsub from my channel, people used to tell me they'd unsub because I wouldn't let you go to Goodwill. So tell them the truth. Do I let you go to Goodwill?
No. You let me get dogs? No.
That's right. All right. Would you do Reagan's job because she's a cripple right now?
She is.
All right.
All right. We have these nice people right here that I'm trying to read hieroglyphics that got an enema man. Is that what E means?
No, an enema. It's the Q3 enema man sticker.
Okay.
Junkyard flipper sticker.
These kind viewers got that. Kevin Shakeford.
You gotta tease the way right. Reagan does fine.
I'm sorry if I get this wrong. I do appreciate you, but I cannot read his handwriting.
All
Kevin
right.
Shakeford, Kevin Snyder, Joseph, and Pierre. Then Jeffrey got a Commonwealth Picker sticker, a something sticker.
We get things moving sticker.
Okay, because it looks like W6TM, but whatever. And a blue t-shirt.
All
so
right.
thank you guys.
Thank you for stepping in for Reagan. You know Reagan's line?
Don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
She is perpetrating a lie. I swear to you, I don't keep her from going to Goodwill. If I could, I would, but it is not possible. See, I bought this set right here, 15 bucks for all this, and I'm like, this is gonna be slow sell-through rate. There's a bunch of boxes back there, but like if I just sell one, I make my money back. And I sold this one and then a couple that weren't in packages that I'm gonna dig out of there off camera. And one sold for 15 plus shipping, the other sold for 20 plus shipping. And so we're already in the profit with a bunch of boxes left, but they are going to be slow sell through. They're flower vase napkin holders for like a wedding, I think. And there's a whole set of them. Took me a long time to find these because they weren't in the packages. And this is the other set of those little vase things that sold for 20. So it's a pretty good little sale, in the profit, and have like 8 or 9 of these boxes. The next one reminds me of Kerry, my buddy Kerry, American Arbitrage, and he does a lot of cards, but I love Carrie because he's not one to listen to everybody else. All these people tell him, you stop wasting your time selling cards and whatever, and it's not right for everybody. But for Carrie, it brings him incredible joy. It's finally raining. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, it has to do with that one particular video that I'm going to talk about right now, where I had a ton of unsubs, and I was trying to make a simple point here. Carrie was literally following his passion when he started his card channel and his whole journey and all this stuff, where he is selling cards. And a lot of what he sells is the junk wax and the stuff. And he's like, I love it. And I'm going to do it because I want to do it. And he's been incredibly successful on social media and as a reseller. This reminds me of the story. I'm going to tell this story, but let me tell you this box story first. This set sold for $24.95 plus shipping. I was at the 301, and a guy I've seen multiple times there. Big shout out to you, by the way, and I can't remember your first name, but he's always so kind to us. And he was giving me deals on stuff, and he was giving me waters, and it was so hot. My dad, he was giving waters, and he wouldn't let me pay for this stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Let me do something. And so I knew he wasn't going to let me pay for anything until I saw these boxes. I'm like, he's not going to give me this for free. I'm like, come on, let me pay, asking price. I actually thought about giving these to Carrie, and I'm like, I'll probably not ever give them to him. And he let me buy these, and it was up-priced for eBay. I wasn't going to make a bunch of money on it, but he let me buy them, and I just think they're really cool. So $24.95, and it was really a break-even buy for me, but it was my way of getting him to let me pay him for all the other stuff he let us buy, and the waters and the kindness and everything that goes with it. So now the story. So I'll start with the July 3rd video first, the picker channel. There wasn't nearly as many unsubs from this one, but it was kind of making the point. I'm hoping there's 2 of these in there. And actually, I don't think that's the right one. This is the right one. And we finally marked these down to 30% off, so $20.30. So we had 2 separate sales of these wallet chains, 1 and 2, $20.30 plus shipping a piece. And I think 1 was to a viewer. Hi Kevin, thank you for all you do to help resellers. I'm a YouTube follower, and this is my first purchase from you. Would appreciate a Commonwealth Picker sticker and info on how I can purchase one of the Commonwealth Picker tees. So my wife just told you, don't forget to get your sticker and tees at commonwealthpicker.com. So thank you. Love your logo again. Hope you see this, and thank you for being you, Mickey. Scuba Cuba 2. Very cool. I love that. Appreciate it. So we are obviously in the political season, and this stuff doesn't bother me near as much as it used to, because I've been doing YouTube a long time. But what bothered me in not as much this video that I'm going to talk about, but the next one I'm going to talk about, was how easy it is for people to be unkind to other people. And I try to discourage political statements down below, and I try not to make too many myself, even though I'm sure you have some passionate beliefs. I have some passionate beliefs, not about just religion, but other topics as well. I'm passionate about my thermal printer, for goodness sake. And what kind of boxes, forget it. You get the point. So this one was, and it reminded me of an episode where I had picked up some Donald Trump dice from the Taj Mahal, and I sold them, and man, that thing, normally we sit at like 99%, thumbs up, and that thing was way down. And then one time I had gone to a gentleman, and well, that's what this video is about. There's a Donald Trump hat sitting right there, and I didn't pick it. And I didn't pick it for a reason. I may have made a mistake on it, but it was a made in China hat. I won't do my China imitation, but it's a made in China hat, and those, from my experience, don't do too well. One guy told me, no, that one does do pretty well. So I don't care. I sold a Joe Biden damage all in here. That doesn't bother me. I'm surprised it bothers a lot of people, whatever your political persuasion is. I can more understand the folks who would not do like a horror movie that's sexual or something or whatever. I can kind of get that a little bit more, but I don't care. I'll sell just about any political thing you can possibly imagine if it can make me $1. There might be some exceptions, right? I'm not going to probably sell a, Mao shirt talking about how Mao's the greatest human being that ever lived or something. I don't know, maybe something like that. Or, of course, you talk about all the Hitlers and the Pol Pots and all the, Shays and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm getting into that, but any rate, I'm just curious out there. Are there limits to what you'll do? And I'm also curious about, moving into this season right here. Are you so dogmatic about what you think that you're willing to jump on chats and public forums about totally different topics and leave your opinion? That cracks me up. And I do get somewhat political from time to time when it has to do with things that affect resellers in particular. I think that's appropriate, but I don't try to do that. Now, I tried to do something that I thought was very innocuous, completely, on July 4th. And that got me more unsubs than I've ever got in 5 years doing YouTube. And apparently what I said was extremely controversial, which is very disappointing to me, but, it's the old history teacher coming out on me. This is, it wasn't as controversial, in my opinion, as, Dale or Jeff Gordon or something. But Alan Kulwicki hat. This one I thought was really cool, and I thought it would sell quickly, and it did not. I paid $5 for this hat, so I had high hopes for it. For me to pay $5 for a hat, and this did sell. It's over $25.90, but it took a long time to sell. So on that July 4th video, I just simply, like I do from time to time, I'm going to talk about history, kind of fun stuff. And I just simply said, hey, I think it's, worth fighting for. I think our initial values, our common principles are worth fighting for. And I went back and I read some of the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal, endowed by their creator or certain inalienable rights, life, liberty. And then I talked about Lincoln quoting that and Martin Luther King Jr. quoting Lincoln and all that. And I'm like, hey, this is just me talking about America and being grateful that I live here. And I had tons of folks unsub from that. I was like, really? And I just thought to myself, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about that stuff anymore. And I just said, no, you know what? This is me. People don't have to like everything about me, but that's me. And I am internally grateful. And I really, really think that the folks that leave nasty comments and respond in nasty ways, they don't have that graciousness. They're just not folks that realize how fortunate we are and how minimal these little issues, free shipping or calculated shipping or thermal printers or promoted listings. By the way, I have a separate point on promoted listings to the guy that told me he won't watch me because I've sold out to eBay. Which, by the way, in case you missed that video, I've done an ad for eBay. They asked me to do an ad that's focused on new resellers. Not even put it on YouTube, not put it on Commonwealth Picker, not put it on Commonwealth Flipper, but put it on Instagram. I think they said TikTok, although they took that off, and Facebook. And just say, hey, don't take your stuff to the post office if you're a new reseller. We provide shipping and it's cheaper on eBay. I'm like, sure. Like, I don't think there's that many people out there that don't know that, but sure, I'll do that. And I said I would tell people that, and boy, whew. So do you think, he says I'm on eBay's month-to-month payroll and they promote my store and that's why I get sales. That just is simply not true. It's not true. If it were true, I would tell you. I promise you, I would tell you. I wouldn't want it, for one. I mean, think about it. If you watch this channel for a long time, I will call eBay out. I've done it many, many times and I will do it in the future. And I try to be very honest and open about it because most of my sales are coming from eBay. I still think it's the best platform. But, I mean, think about it. I've started my own selling site. I'm about to start another one, by the way. And I sell on Whatnot. I sell on Mercari, and I'm selling on Dibdit and promoting it right now. Dibdit.com, by the way. And I've got, you know what? I'm just going to do a soft launch of something. I think some of you may be interested if you're listening to this video still this late in the video. And maybe I'll get your feedback, because this is a risk. Talk about getting unsubs. I'm gonna wade into a territory that a lot of folks are afraid of, including myself. But because I'm afraid of it is why I'm wading into it. I want to provide a good option for people. But I'll get to that in just a second. Sometimes I sidetrack myself. Back to the original point. Do you think eBay would really want to promote somebody like me, who constantly tells people you don't have to promote? Wouldn't you think you'd want somebody that would toe the company line a little bit more than me? I am shocked that eBay even acknowledges that I exist with all of the criticism that I give them. And I'm just going to continue to do what I think is right. And there's so many of you out there that are so nice to me and appreciate that. And, there's folks out there, I don't care if you're far left, far right, somewhere in between, if you, whatever religion you are, what color you are, I don't care. I don't care. This is a great place for resellers to get together. And I appreciate you stopping by and the support that you give us and the feedback. I don't mind feedback. I don't mind criticism. I just don't like meanness in some folks out there. Whew. Maybe some of you will be kind enough to sub for the first time, just to make up for all those other folks who left me. Any rate, Turner will be happy. He wants this channel to get to 100,000 someday, because I told him I'd give him that plaque for that one. And he's all excited about that. Miss Piggy. I love Miss Piggy. I'm going to knock something over there. I got her by the snout. That one right there. So, hey, that's another thing. Disney. I get a lot of people, are you selling stuff from Disney? Boy, you're in trouble. Huh? Well, I suppose. So, here we go. Miss Piggy sold. I don't even remember. I've been talking so much this time. $18.95 plus shipping for that Miss Piggy. That surprised me a little bit, but I'll take it. You know, I was thinking to myself the other day, I haven't sold a baseball glove in a while, and we finally sold one. And I've got a few in this sports bin right here. That's the one that sold a little first baseman's glove. I think this was a return earlier this year. Pretty sure, although I've bought a couple that are similar. $49.95 plus shipping. You know, I am going to mention something in just a second that I mentioned in a previous video, and I kind of gave a few hints, but I was looking for some feedback, and I was shocked by how much good feedback on both sides of this equation I got. And so I'm going to kind of tentatively announce this right now and then give a full explanation. Might even do a dedicated video and put it over on Garage Sale Nation. And so if I've done that already, I'll put this up here. I doubt I've done it already, but if I haven't, I'll put it up at a later date. I've always hated wholesale. Hated. I don't trust. I just, maybe it's me. I don't know. First of all, I love sourcing so much, I don't like to do wholesale. But I had been exploring something for me, a platform for me to wholesale to the folks who watch this channel. And I thought, because, man, this would make my life so much easier, because I've been doing so much better focusing on the things that I love to sell and focusing on the things that I can sell at a higher ASP and that I don't have to go through because I don't have the knowledge of. And I'm going to give you an example of that right here. That is my first listing over there on this new platform. But at the same time, I said, you know what? If this works for me, it might work for other people who have too much stuff and for folks who don't have enough stuff. If we can police it right and if we can provide definite, you know, people need to know exactly what they're getting and make wise decisions for themselves based on where they live, based on all kinds of factors. And I think we're going to go ahead with this because I've got so much good feedback on it, and have a limited amount of people and vet people to come in and do this kind of stuff and to buy and to sell and all that. And I'm really excited about this. I guess I'll cut this out of the video if it's not ready, but it's shopcommons.com or .net, shopcommons.net. And it is on the District. It's a marketplace on District, and we've got some sellers over there that I've personally recruited, and I'm going to be selling over there, and we're going to build confidence in this. And I'm going to give you an example of the very first thing I listed. So I don't particularly love selling CDs unless they're high-end. And I came across this great lot right here. I mean, this is all good stuff. I mean, tons of Beatles. Like, maybe a third of this thing is Beatles. And it's just got everything you can imagine. It's got Pink Floyd and Rolling Stones. And these are good ones, right? In good condition. And they're worth anywhere between, you know, $4 and like $15 a piece, just depending on which one. And it's not the kind of thing I want to go through and figure it all out, list it all. I got it cheap enough. I just want to sell it in a big lot. And I want to sell it where somebody else can make money. And I'm going to make money. And they're going to make a lot more. Maybe they own a CD shop, for instance. Maybe they do, you know, flea. I don't know. There's all kinds of options. They can sell these on eBay. I mean, a lot of these. I think there's a bunch of Allman Brothers in here that I saw for going for $10 a piece and above. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell these for $100 and ship them off to somebody, and somebody's going to turn it into, you know, $300, $400, $500. I don't know what's exactly in there. And I really want to do it that way. And we're going to do it over there. So this is over there if it hasn't sold already. We haven't really announced it yet, so I'd be shocked if it did. We've got some other great bulk sellers that come across so much that they cannot possibly get through it all individually. And we're going to try to make it work. And we're going to... I need your help is basically what I'm saying. Even if you're not going to buy over there, I need you to look at it and to see if this thing is something you think is worthwhile for some folks that can't get out and source, for instance. And can we do it in a way that builds confidence and not the mystery box crap and all that stuff? And can it be useful, even if it's only useful for a few hundred people, and keeping it small, but maybe if it's useful, maybe it'll grow. We'll see. But at any rate, you can go check that out if it's ready. What did I say? Shopcommons.net. One other thing I didn't mention about it is I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And I've talked to these folks that I've partnered with over there to do this. And I said, hey, we got some more dogs coming in. How you doing, Mom? I said, I want to do this at least for the initial folks that are in my community, 8% sales, because I want to keep costs down for sellers and for buyers. And I want to attract the right people and to be able to have some discernment between who shouldn't be doing this and who should. And at any rate, go check it out. One more promo as these pups are waiting for their little lamb treat. Come check us out on July 17th on Dividend.com. We are doing a giveaway show just as a thank you to folks, where any and every item that gets purchased, even if it's for $1, is going to get a giveaway from us. And I've got a giant box of awesome stuff over there. Decent value stuff. I'm not just talking about junk here. So, and then a bunch of stickers and stuff, because we're going to sell 50 things, right? So we'll put a die cut in some. And there's going to be a $50 item in there as well. At least, I know there's a $25 item in there. So come check us out. Even if you don't want to buy anything, we'll have a good time over there. Should be a fun day. Y'all sit. Sit. All of you, sit. Sophie don't have to sit. She's the old girl. There you go. There you go. Good boy. How about you? Will you sit? Will you sit? Sit. Sit. There's the old girl. And I must say thank you to Sherry, even though I'm not sure you are a viewer. You did send me a message asking if I would combine shipping. So, ET pins haven't sold for me in a while. So, $5.99 for the Gertie and ET pin. And see if I can find the other one. It's the head pin. Where is it? Oh, there's right there. That one's $7.59. And I will combine shipping if people ask. So we appreciate that very much. Sherry, if you're a viewer. Thank y'all for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. I hope your sales are going well this summer. And if they haven't been going well, I went through that really slow spurt for a while. I hope they pick up soon. We appreciate you stopping by, and I can't wait to see you next time.